So this is the video about this Eurostar, and this is by Freesky Cycle, and this is a really good e-bike. We have good locking grips on here. This is called the professional edition. You can see right there. There's my Andrew Yang sticker because we're gonna need UBI once automation takes all our jobs. But yeah, anyways, and it's best to have a UPI based off the total automated production percentage of the GDP, and so that way we can cycle that. But anyways, this is about this bike, so we're gonna talk about this. We have these S4 brakes. These are 4-piston brakes on here. They have really good solid brakes on this thing. The suspension feels really good. I'm like 240 pounds, and this thing handles me perfectly, like no issues. And one thing I would suggest getting is the fenders for this. You really want some fenders because this thing's gonna kick up dirt, tons of mud. You can see my frame's already muddy. I haven't had this long at all, and so another thing I would change out is the pedals. The pedals they give you, mine. That part of the pedal rusted, but it doesn't matter. They give you some cheap pedals anyways because they figure you're going to change them out if you're serious about it. So, why give you expensive pedals to begin with if you're going to just change them out to your kind that you want anyways? So that makes sense to me. But they still they're still good quality. They give you metal pedals, so it still comes with pretty high quality pedals, but my pedals are better. So, I put my pedals on here because I already had them. And another thing that I did is I had put a FMF XTR stem riser on here. This, I'm not sure if you could see it, but you can look it up. Let's turn the camera like this. Sorry for flipping the camera on you. Not sure if you could see it. It's whitewashed out here in the sunlight, but you can see how the handlebars are a little bit high up. It's because it raises it up, and this riser has the best locking mechanism. You can look it up. It's an FMF XTR stem riser, and it's a 110 millimeter version, the longer version, and this basically, it has a double locking mechanism for safety, so this won't collapse down while you're driving. It not only does it tighten down on the sides like a regular one does into locking, threaded machine metal, but it also has a front locker piece on there, so that's something you're probably gonna want to get because the handlebars are at an okay riding position, but I like my handlebars up high because I like to ride comfortably, and it just makes it a whole lot more fun for long-term riding. And yeah, I've strapped my backpack to the front just to have a bag to carry all my stuff I need. The brakes, like I said, the brakes are really good on this thing. The suspension's really good. The gear shifts are really perfect, honestly. Like the gear ratio when you're pedaling, like you go into pedal assist, all the way through all the pedal assist modes. Even when you're pedaling it, you can pedal at 35 miles an hour with the bike. So you could, if you're really intent on pedaling, you can pedal this bike at a fast rate of speed. And that's something that's different than the smaller tire e-bikes. So this has a 26-inch with the fat tires on it, and I would definitely suggest getting some more knobbier tires in the future. That's what I would do. Some ones that will be more puncture resistant. Like these don't have this. There's no sub layer. It's just these little knobs, and that's it. So that's a real flimsy tire if you let the pressure out of it. But that doesn't matter. That's just what it comes with. It's relatively lightweight, so that's really all that mattered. And so you could change that out later, though. I'm going to put some heavier duty tires on there that won't ever get punctures or anything wrong with them, but I'm going to do that later. Anyways, this bike has I like how it has this mid drive right here. It looks like it's not technically mid drive because that has a rear hub motor on it. So, but it's the frame is set up where it could be upgraded to a mid-drive. At least that's how it appears. Maybe they got this frame off, it's a replica of a different bike with a different frame that has a mid-drive motor in it. And this one just has a hub drive. And they say the other versions have this Baofeng motor, but this motor is probably an exact replica of a Baofeng motor, on this version, and instead you get a better suspension system. If you look at this suspension system in comparison to the other suspension systems on the other bikes, this is a far superior suspension system on here. And I definitely suggest getting some silicone lubricant, and you lube up all these joints. That one, this one on the back end over here, down here, there, this one right there, boom, boom, that one down over to that one, and then this one over here, same on the other side, and spray those with silicone lube. Don't use WD-40, because WD-40 will mess up your if it has rubber seals or plastics or anything, it'll mess it up over time. You want to use silicone lubricant spray, because it doesn't interfere with the rubbers and plastics materials that are inside of this. So it's always best to use that on the bike. Don't use anything else. Don't let anyone ever talk you into anything other than silicone-based lubricant spray. It's the only thing you want to use. You can lubricate your front forks too with it. Keep your seals conditioned, because if you use WD-40 on there, then those seals are gonna get messed up. Or if you use any other type of lubricant, that's technically WD-40 is not a lubricant, but I'm not gonna get into that. But this is ultimately all around. This is a really good bike. It has when you pedal in it, when you're on the bike pedaling, you can pedal assist 5, you can go like 35 miles an hour, 36, even more, depending on if you're going down a hill and you're going fast or whatever you're doing. And it's got a lot of speed, and it's got good low end power too. So it's not nothing but top speed. It's got a good enough low end band to get it up to there. And the throttle, what I like about, at least on my version, I'm not sure if this is a standard feature. On this one, when I hit the throttle down right here, that's the throttle movement. You can see that's the whole movement. But when you hold it down for like 30 seconds when you're riding down the road at full throttle, which is only like 18 miles an hour, because the throttle's maxed out at 18, which is really all you need. Because if you're on the bike, you shouldn't be going over 18 miles an hour not pedaling. That's why pedal assist will let you go 35, but you got to be pedaling at least. Because you need to show that you're on a bike. I mean, you don't have a license plate or anything on this thing, and so. Yeah. Anyways, I don't ever use it really in that mode. I just use the throttle. It just goes 18 miles an hour. It's like the normal speed, 18 to 20. That's its range for that. And when you hold it down for a while, what's really cool when you're riding is it will engage into like like cruise control. It'll stay on. So when I know it sounds crazy, but listen to it. You hold it down for a while, it'll stay on. Once you let off, you can let off, and it'll stay on the throttle. It'll keep going with the throttle. But if you want to stop it, you can hit the brakes, or you can just hit the throttle like one time. Just tap it, and and it'll disengage the cruise control, and you'll be back to controlling with the throttle. So that's a really useful feature. And then you can hold down the minus button, and while you have the battery in it, and I just want to say you want to walk it up a hill, and you don't want to ride up a hill, you just hold down the minus button, and the thing will start to go forward on its own. It'll start to give just a little bit of power. That's the powered walk mode. And so that's another nifty feature that you need to know about. And another important thing is make sure that you check all your screws. I had this screw come out down here, that one right there. that one came out, so I replaced it with a screw I had. It's just a totally different screw as a Phillips head. As you can see, these are Allen keys, and so that is what it is. But all the other screws seem like they're Loctited down. So just don't turn them. Just check their tightness and make sure that they feel tight. They should all feel tight without you having to turn them, because they're all everything's Loctited down, except for maybe the kickstand's not Loctited down because my kickstand came loose. So you might want to tight down your kickstand, or you might ride without a kickstand. I don't know. Not sure what your style is, but I'm keeping the kickstands because I like to have a kickstand. So I'm not a crazy person. Anyways, and I ride on a regular basis places. So that's pretty much the whole scope of the bike. Another thing I would definitely suggest you do, and this is something that I do on all my and every bike, because I learned this problem the hard way. When you get this tire, over time, if you ride it and you don't, now granted these spokes are different because you can see they're staggered. You know, they're not center bound. Normally they're all center bound in the same center zone, which makes a bit of torsion, which makes these unscrew. So normally these will come loose over time, and then you're having to rebalance and re-true your whole rim, and you know, no one else knows how to do that. So if you want to prevent that from ever happening, get a little bit of super glue, and this might sound crazy, but get a little bit of super glue and tab a tiny bit, and just on the heads. Don't unscrew anything. Just leave it how it is, and put a little super glue and just a tiny drop on tip, just enough to cover down into the threads of this thing. And what that'll do is it acts like a thread locker, and when you need to, if you ever need to adjust it, they will still be able to adjust, because I've tested it already. And if you want to test it yourself on some old bike you have, you can too, but I'm telling you it works, so you don't need to test it because I've already done the testing. And so that's what I did on mine. I put super glue in all the heads of each one of these spokes. There's a tiny little bit of super glue, and that locks it down into place and keeps it from coming loose. And that will save you a whole bunch, because guess what? You have a hub motor drive here. So if this gets untrue and wobbly, your entire bike is screwed. There's nothing you can do. You need to take this to a bike shop or go get a stand and learn how to true a rim. Just save yourself the hassle. Get a little bit of super glue when you get your bike, and super glue down into each and every single one of these spokes, all the spokes on the back rim. The front rim doesn't usually have the problem because of its ability to move left and right. But the back tire experiences lots of torsion effects. But this has a staggered spoke design, so it's probably okay. But you should just take the extra precaution and do that, because you know that's something I highly suggest doing, just for the long-term longevity of your rim and protecting your rim. And it doesn't lock it in permanently either. That's the great thing, is you can put a little wrench, a tiny little wrench on there, and move it, and it'll crack, and it'll break the super glue, and it'll turn. But it takes a little bit of force to do it. It's just like Loctite. And yeah, I've already done it, so it's 100% safe, effective method. So, anyways, that's about all the tips and tricks I can have. If you have any comments or any questions, go in the comment section below and let me know what you have. You know, if you have anything to ask about the bike or anything, just feel free to talk to me in the comment section. You can use this platform like an actual social media site, and I usually reply to everyone, because you know, especially if you're asking a question. If you're just leaving some comment and you're not really saying anything, I'm not going to reply. I'll hit like on your reply, but that's about it. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video, and hope you got a lot of value from it for your new e-bike today, and you'll be able to go out and enjoy the world. And this thing really gets pretty decent range, honestly, better than other e-bikes I've had, especially given the throttle control. And anyways, it's got, and it has a horn on it too. So I don't have the battery in here, but you're gonna have to hear that on a different video from someone else. But it's a decent horn. So Hope y'all have a glorious, magnificent, wonderful, beautiful, awesome, amazing, incredible existence. And I'll see you all around in the next video. Bye.